how is writing like for sometimes when you think about it, you feel like everybody can write, but then again when you also think about it, it's not like everybody can also write.
It's not easy, but it's easy if you have the passion, and mostly if you have something that you feel people should know.
Okay.
I remember when I began, I think around 2018, because I felt like I really need to tell some things.
Look, basically Pieces of Hope is about Nelson.
Yes, Pieces of Hope is Nelson. Yeah.
Okay, so when people want to really know who you are, we should read Pieces of Hope.
Yeah, and of course read and don't judge. That's the only disclaimer.
Yeah, we read, we don't judge. Like we listen, we don't judge.
Yeah, true. I've tried to play the first time. It didn't work.
Once you woke up strong.
I was really stronger than I expected. So you find that the second time, I was very sure I had to die. But that still felt to count.
That don't want you either. Yeah.
So I just decided this is now a point that I need to think positively about life.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Urban Online Show. My name is June, and it's another second time of recording a next episode. And today we're just going to be having a conversation with a young person, really, specifically not to any specific topic, but you're going to see how the conversations connect to the lives of young people and how we relate with it in daily life, hoping that you're able to learn and challenge opinion about anything. So, Nelson, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jen.
Yes, so
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just introduce yourself in the way that you like.
I have so many ways to introduce myself.
So just choose which one you want to use now.
The first one, I love the name Akode, but of course I'm Nelson Akode. So
Okay.
Akode.
Yeah, Nelson Akode.
So government knows Nelson Akode.
Okay.
Yeah, a young person, emerging leader, SRHR programmer, but also a public health professional.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and also an author of Pieces of Hope.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like a author of a whole book.
yes.
How is writing? Like for sometimes when you think about it, you feel like everybody can write, but then again when you also think about it, it's not like everybody can also write. So how is like writing generally?
It's not easy, but it's easy if you have the passion, and mostly if you have something that you feel people should know.
Okay.
I remember when I began, I think around 2018, because I felt like I really need to tell some things. And the best way I felt, I was not good with these one-on-one conversations. And so I felt, let me put it down. Someone can read it. So I wrote, I think, like a few pages, got a little emotional and stopped. I think around 2019, again, added a few more pages, and I was like, people will judge me if I tell these stories. Then I stopped again. After I think 2022, I'm like, I need to tell this story, regardless of how people will interpret the emotions that come with it, the realities that are told in the story, and all that. So I continued with the writing. Just the pink and the book itself, the day-to-day lives, and that is what built up to have the Pieces of Hope. So I think also from the title,
Yeah.
it tells you that it's the pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, zimekuja kidogo kidogo.
Pole.
Yeah, just pole pole. You have a piece on how my education life looked like. You have a piece on how my health wise looked like. You have a piece on how family life looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that put together now defines why it is Pieces of Hope.
Yeah.
So you'll find when education-wise it's low, you find I tend to now look on my health, look on family. When the family angle is kinda shaky, I now check on other pieces of life. So that is how I built myself up to this.
So basically, Pieces of Hope is about Nelson.
Yes, Pieces of Hope is Nelson. Yeah.
Okay, so when people want to really know who you are, we should read Pieces of Hope.
Yeah. And of course, read and don't judge. That's the only disclaimer.
Yeah, we read, we don't judge. Like we listen, we don't judge.
Yeah, true. So ideally, the Pieces of Hope speaks to it's the life of a young boy born and bred
Yes.
in a village somewhere along the lake region, but also born to a teenage mother who passed on just a year, and then so he was raised by a grandmother. So that, in a nutshell, speaks to teenage pregnancy, the experience of children born to teenage mothers. Sometimes we talk about teenage pregnancy, we talk about HIV, we talk about also many conversations around SRHR. But then if you stop the conversations at the teen mom experienced this in life, have we ever thought of how did that child cope with the situation? How did that child cope with the life, especially when the mother is not there or the father is not there? That is ideally what Pieces of Hope speaks to.
Okay, so it highlights what the child born to a teenage mother goes through.
Yes.
Because actually most of the time we focus on a teenage mom, a child that got pregnant maybe when they were in school or something. Nobody talks about now that child, how he or she is being raised.
Yes, and many times we get stories of a child thrown or found in a pit somewhere, found somewhere. You get, so all that, it's not into light, how that life looks like into adolescence, into adulthood, and just building yourself to having a family. It's a whole process. It has a lot to be known.
Yeah. Could you speak to how being a child born of a teenage mother looks like? Because just before this episode, we were talking about a child that we know here that is less than 5 years and is already surviving on his own because the mother is struggling and stuff like that. Could you now speak to that?
Even before we got to how that looks like, there are so many ways of getting pregnant, especially for adolescent girls and young women. So you'd find some would consent to having sex, some would be raped, some would just be forced into having sex. But for a young girl from lake region, it was just a night, and they were sharing supper with their dad. So what happened is that there were some robbers who came. They killed their father, but raped her in the process. So on top of seeing her father dying, he was raped. And I think out of the trauma and everything, it took time for her to really open and really say, this is exactly what happened. So after a few period of 3 to 4 months, this actually according to the stories grandma told me, so it's not from from me as a person. So she gets the feeling of this pregnancy kind of symptoms and feelings. And so because those times also accessing a facility was kind of crazy. So it was just predicted that you could be pregnant. Then 9 months later, she gave birth. Then a year later, she was dead. Then the child was left with the grandma. And that child is me. Yes.
So now, from all these like stories that you're being told now by your grandmother or kids,
but of course now when life began, I think I was around 5 years or 6 there, when now life began for me. because ideally traditional beliefs was that if a girl dies in such kind of a setup, you will not be buried at home. So they find somewhere to bury you.
Outside the homestead.
Yeah, outside the homestead.
I've had those traditions.
Yeah, so that was actually one of the case study for that. So they had to look somewhere where to bury her. And the condition that came is that they did not have a boy child. So for them to accept her, they have to give away the child in exchange for that gravesite. Of course, they couldn't deny. That was given in exchange, not exchange per se, but in place of accepting to bury my mom. So the experience there was kind of weird because it was an area where people were so much into tradition that you have to obey A to Z. You have to sleep in the house alone, and it was the traditional hut.
Yes.
You get?
Yeah.
So you have to sleep in that house alone. You have to always be there for, I think, a period of 7 days. Because they call it Nyinyo. I don't know how that is translated in English.
What?
Nyinyo or something. Oh, that's not.
That's Luo.
Yeah, that's Luo. So you're like, you have to sleep here.
Yeah.
For a period, and you are not given. We talk about health and well-being of get. You talk about pneumonia. You talk about malaria. You talk about any other condition that will come in case you are exposed to either cold or just an unsafe environment. So all these really, I faced them. And of course, by God's grace, it reached a point I had to run away. Yeah, so I think I had to run away. I just wanted to run away because everything was too much.
Yeah.
Because you had to, for example, you are not able to go to school because you are looking after the cattle and blah, blah, blah. And you're still around 7 years. So at 7 years, these cows should not get into someone's farm. These cows need to be grazing throughout the day. And you are alone. You get? And when you are sick, it's very hard for someone to realize that, oh, it's truly this kid is sick. So they will wait until you are not able to walk or you are not talking. That is when they'll feel like they'll give you some traditional herbs to help you. And that herbs are not those sweet ones.
Hey.
I don't know whether you've ever tried. You ever tried any herb? Have you? So there are those kind of bitter herbs.
Yes.
You have to use them in food, in water, in anything that you are taking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, is this the life that I need to live the rest of my life? So I just decided to run away.
Just that.
So the first time I ran, by bad luck, the person that found me, I think, a distance away, took me back. And I'm like, I can't tell them that I wanted just to go away
Yeah.
without coming back. Then I tried the second time. So the second time I ran into a church. It was actually a Catholic church. So I spent there, I think, 2 days while the guys were still looking for me. And finally they did, and I was taken back. So the third time, I think it was just God's intervention. I left home and I was really sick and I was in full dress. Guess why?
I'm trying to imagine why you're in a full dress.
Yeah, I was in a dress because I think at that point I was sickling.
Okay.
And the body was swollen and you're not having like clothes.
Yeah, proper clothes.
Yeah, you wouldn't say, I have this clothes that will fit me. Let me try this or let me try that. You have 2 or 3 that you are not even able, I was not able to put on. So I was in
Dress.
the full dress. I don't know whether I had kept it up to date, but it's somewhere. I'm sure it's somewhere.
Okay.
For history, it's somewhere.
Yeah.
I was in dress and decided to run away. I did, and then someone picked me in a bicycle, and luckily he knew my uncles, so he took me to my uncles, and that is how I saved myself from dying 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was good that my grandma was kinda a middle age grandmother, still strong and able to comprehend health of our kid. So the moment he saw me, he decided to take me to hospital. I think that is where everything turned south. And sometimes I just sit down and ask myself, was it necessary to go to hospital? Wangeacha tu niende venye nimeenda hivyo. Because I think going to hospital now opened the real life and opened all the doors of life to face me. So I had to face life. Because the first time I went to hospital, they were like, you are sick, but we are not able to know what's happening. It was actually a dispensary.
Yeah.
And now, if we are speaking about health systems, one of the very important health structures that we should never lack is dispensaries. And lacking means you have a building and no health professional. And lacking means you have a building and health professional without commodities. You get? So at that point, they were not having commodities, just painkillers. So then they do a referral, get to a health center.
Yes.
So that means we should also have operational health centers if they are to respond to the needs of young people and the population at large.
Yeah.
So I walk in, of course, with the help of insurance to a health center. And they say, what you're able to do is just do a malaria test. A health center. That's the only thing they can do. So they did, and there's no malaria. And then they refer us to, I don't know how that was called, but it's a district hospital. Yeah, I think those days they were called district hospital. Today I think they are either sub-county or county hospital or level 4. So they say, here we are able to
Just
TB, we'll just repeat malaria, we'll also do typhoid, and we'll do HIV. Okay, well and good. They do all those tests. Malaria is still negative, typhoid negative, all those other conditions negative, except HIV. They say, okay, you're HIV positive, and you're also, the test confirmed TB. So I'm initiated on TB medication. And we know those days, they were not initiating the ARVs at all.
Yeah.
So they start with the TB, they manage it, and then they introduce you to ARVs later. So as a kid, what I knew was that I had the swelling. And so taking the medications will help me reduce the swelling.
Yes.
So I didn't know anything about HIV, about all those things.
Yeah.
So I was taking these medications with a lot of hope.
That this swelling will go away.
It will go away.
Yeah.
I'll get back to my clothes. I'll get back to playing around, to playing football, you get all that put together, and like, let me stick to it. So if it is 1 times 1, I will not wait someone to remind me. If it is 2 times 3, I'll do exactly that. I think that then until around 2 to 9, then I'm like, hey, but I've been taking this medication for
That swelling is not going anywhere.
I've been taking this for too long.
Yeah.
Everything is not even ending. You get, the pain is still there, the swelling is still there. You are not able to have like decent clothes. Like ideally you can't. And you can't also go out to play. You get?
Yeah.
You are not able to go to school, and I'm like, it feels like there's something here. You get? So at that point, I stopped taking medication.
Okay.
And I told Shoshu, hey, no, I'm tired. I'm really tired. So I got ill, and then she took me to Homa Bay. So Homa Bay was kinda a referral. So they did a number of tests, and then they're saying, we from the assessment we think you have a cancer, but we'll do a biopsy to determine which kind of cancer this is. And I'm like, those days I was still not.
Yeah.
I didn't know what cancer is.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's just the normal ailments and all that, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. So they do the biopsies and they say, you have a Kaposi sarcoma. So you'll be on treatment for 12 months. At those times, anytime I feel like someone is giving me hope, I get so much interested and into it. You want to have injections for 12 months? I'm in for it. So I would go every month. I think it's a distance of around 20 kilometers or thereabout for 12 months. Still hoping. No, I think those times there was the bike.
Okay.
For short distance, you'd also going to Homa Bay was not that difficult, except for during the post-election violence.
Okay.
So you'd go and there are a lot of violence. You have to cover some distance walking. And I didn't mind, because at the back of mind, I had like, at the end of 12 months,
You're going to be okay.
I'm going to be okay. I'm going back to school. I'm going back to playing. I'm going back to everything life will be normal. And then at that point, 12 months end, the medication is done. Everything is back changing. And then this is now to a 9. But of course, that came with kind of positive result. The swelling was there, but the pain had reduced. So I decided, I decided to go back to school. I went to school, but it was not easy, because sometimes you'd find the swelling starts to ooze, and the oozing sometimes will smell, and you are in class. And sometimes, those days we were in a blue-white uniform. So if you are in a blue and white, and anything comes out, people will easily see the stains. So I'm like, it's so hard. Let me try suicide. So in 2009, I think, end of 2009.
How old are you then?
That should be around 10 or 11. 10. Yeah, so I was 10. So I said, this is not possible. Because now sometimes we're in class, it starts smelling, and everyone is like, and you just know how kids are sometimes. They are like, this one, you get. So I tried suicide. I went back to my medication, nikajambia, I have a bottle of drugs. This can really help me. So I decided to take all of it, hoping that tomorrow I'm not waking up. I'm going to rest. Guess what? I woke up strong. I woke up strong, and I'm like, really? But so no one knew I had tried. But of course, out of waking up and feeling disappointed, and now I'm like, I had used all the drugs. I should be taking them, so I don't want to disturb people. So they said, if I don't take it, I'll die.
Yeah.
That is also another alternative.
Because now you try taking all of them and...
Yes, it didn't work.
Yeah.
So when they said, if you don't take, you die. So I stopped again. That was around 2010, 2011. But I do it while going to school. And then 2012, I sat for my KCPE. And life also changed at that point. Because for many, they felt like This is just an average student that cannot go anywhere. You will just have your exams, fail, and play around. But I tried, and by God's grace, I passed. Now the question was, which school would I go to with the condition?
Yeah.
How will you survive the high school life when all this is what you live? So I decided I'm not going to any school. These guys will send the calling letters. So I went to a day school. After receiving, I think there were around 4 calling letters. I had 325 marks.
Wow.
Some was like, a boarding school?
Or you can say,
Can't.
yeah.
Then which family can accommodate me if I go to a different school? So I had to go just nearby day school. And life changed in high school. Life changed. Because now adolescence comes in, and you have to also feel like you are part of them.
Yes.
You have to have your uniform in that, like you have to really feel you are part of the school environment. So I think for high school, I don't think if I stayed there more than 2 years, because I would go on a Monday, skip Tuesday, go on a Wednesday, and go the next Monday. There was no single week I'd go to school Monday to Friday. So I would go on a Monday, skip Tuesday, go Wednesday, and then I'll wait until Monday again. That is for the 4 years period. Of course, with high school, it doesn't joke with the people.
Yeah.
It doesn't joke. So when results came, I was like, this is the end of life, man. Hapa kuna kuponyoka. I'll just have to be around here. If there are the casual jobs, I'll do them. We'll survive with the show. But again, something came up. Just because I like sharing my story in school. So there was a time we had some people having health talk session in school.
Yeah.
And I decided to share my story. And they're like, wow, keep up. And they laughed. But I think they kept a contact. So when I finished high school, I decided to just try another suicide. Because I was tired with life. Sometimes you want a friend, but you ask yourself, would there be a person that you can friend? Of course not.
Yeah.
And so I stopped. I stopped to think about life. I stopped thinking about what tomorrow holds. And then something weird happened. I tried another. Sometimes things are really funny. Because when I tried the last one, I wanted to jump on a running vehicle. So I stole some cash from church, then went to town center on the highway. I don't know what happened, because the moment I tried crossing, I forgot everything that happened. I don't know what happened. When I woke up, I was in a bus.
Inside yes.
A bus. So I'm like, how did I get here? I tried collecting memories.
You were trying to jump in.
Where did this begin? So I collect, but I'm like, from what I should have remembered, sai ningekuwa niko pali sijui. But this, I can see, it's a place, it's a bus, and the seats are empty. And then someone walks to me and explains that they had an emergency brake, and they had to pick me. This long distance buses. So I think those guys saved me. So when they saved me to a police station, and then they tracked my way back. And now life began to change. Because at that point, I felt like I've tried suicide the first time. It didn't work.
So you woke up stronger.
I was really stronger than I expected. So you find that the second time, I was very sure I had to die. But that still didn't fail to come.
Death don't want you either.
So I just decided this is now a point that I need to think positively about life. So I called those guys that had come in school and just talk to them and just explain to them. I just wanted to go back to school, at least get some hand-on skills, for something that really can help. They say something is coming up, we'll tell you. They take some time and they sent a message. Because SRHR had this small kabambe Motorola. I don't know whether you ever touched a Motorola. Have you?
I'm not certain, but I've seen it.
Yeah, so she had Motorola. So they sent a text that I should share an application with them. They are filling position for a youth advocate. And that is how I joined NAE. Yeah, so I joined as an advocate and began to just change my life a little bit, few steps a day at a time, and things started changing. Yeah.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Wow. Someone could not really imagine those steps backwards.
Yes, so a lot of things happen. We, even today, some I even had some really, even if I sit down and remember, was that really me? How did I survive that? How did I? I remember the first time I had a crush on someone. There's one thing that has been really interesting about life. So I think that was still in primary. Like crushing this girl, so hard to up to high school, I'm still crushing. Oh, I can't tell her. You know.
Yeah.
I'm crushing on her, I can't tell. But then at the end of the day, I don't know, it was just by God's plan. There was a time she texts and say nakupenda.
Right.
Oh,
done for you. Come on.
I'm like, what? So I was kind of confused.
Are you sure you're texting the right person?
No, at that point, I didn't think of anything.
Okay.
In my mind, I knew this is true. You get? So I start being close to her. Close. And then I get to a point when I'm telling her, I also love you so very much.
Sure.
And she's like, oh no, no, that wasn't me.
Wow.
You ever been disappointed?
Seriously?
And I'm like,
what do you mean it wasn't her?
man. So she says that the text was not meant for me. And are you sure? Are you really sure that that is the real truth? And I'm like, yes.
So the whole time people are talking she didn't know it was you?
I think for her, she sent the text. I'm just trying to imagine that she either sent it but changed her mind or something of that sort.
Yeah.
Because for Kabambe, it's very hard
To
for you to say that I missed the number.
Yes.
And it comes to a person that you have as one of the contacts. So I just decided, okay, it's fine. If that's the case, well and good. But of course, after time, I felt like there was something about her saying she didn't intend to send me the text. Because at first, we were so close. Even in during exams, we were really together. I was the first, and then she was the second. They were and we were so close. A number of people just think, hawa ni wale wase, wamebalehe. But of course, when things changed, I felt really, really disappointed. Really disappointed.
I will be disappointed.
And then what happened is that I was so shocked to a point that I think I don't know what happened. But I also woke up in hospital. I don't know whether it was out of the disappointment or something. Because she was someone so close to
Yeah.
not the first love. The first. Alafu nakupea that kind indication and then all of a sudden.
And she texted you fast. I mean, come on.
And I'm like, okay. So I woke up and said, this life, I have to live it. And I have lived life since then. Trying to not have so many friends, not having like kinda intimate conversations with the girl child. But of course, sometimes you have conversations and life tells you. There was a time that I tried again and it didn't end well. It didn't end well, literally. And so I decided, no, there's so many things in life that we can aside, either having a relationship or building a family. There's so many things that so I decided, let me
focus on things first.
And I'll get a day.
Yeah, but this girl,
Focus.
This you girl, you.
So those are just the casual things, the casual life that I've had. Yeah, the casual life that I've had. Up to I think around 2022. That's nearly soon up to 2020.
Up to 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if like you feel you have to like know more of that, it's all here. The things that he has not talked about, I believe it's all here. And I saw, I'm just saying, I'm advertising. I saw that you have an option of getting it with the chocolate. You have an option of getting it wrapped. I mean, it comes, you choose how you want the book to be delivered to you. And I think it's not only like pieces of hope for Nelson, but I think you can also learn from it as a young person that may be struggling or going through some things. He has mentioned the times when he went through suicides and the struggles he went through and how he was able to pick those pieces bit by bit to become the person he is now. So if you're struggling with something and you find you're finding it difficult to relate with what you're struggling with and you want to somewhere to relate it with, you can purchase the Pieces of Hope by Nelson from where he said, or you can just go and visit the store at Bazaar Plaza, or you order it and it comes how you want it, and then you're able to also learn from it. I think it's interesting, but he said read it and don't judge, just read to learn. You can laugh in the way of some of the decisions he was making then, but also learn from them, and you're also able to make your own decisions from that. I think that is it from me, and thank you for joining this conversation, learning from Pieces of Hope, and then tapping into a bit of SRHR. My name is June, and this is the Urban Online Show. Until next time.